Hello and welcome to this Stockbox interview with the CEO of Power Metal Resources, Paul Johnson. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Mark.
You're doing okay?
Oh, yes, fine, thank you.
Good. So today, the Power Metal share price has gone down about 3% or so, something like that. But you've also had a busy week as you've released three pieces of news in as many days, really, one today and two yesterday. So, how do you feel when you release these bits of news? I imagine it's probably quite an exciting point when when you actually have an RNS to release. Probably takes quite a lot of work to actually prepare for one of them. And how do you feel when, do you get excited before you release it, and then are you disappointed when the share price sort of goes in the red? How do you feel about this week?
That's a great, if cruel, question. How it happens in our business, in case people don't realise, is that we prepare a market news announcement, and then we have to get various approvals along the way through. So on technical announcements like today, we have to get our competent person, to sign off on the announcement. You have to get the board and the partners to sign off, and then you have to go, through the Nomad, who also has input to the process, and then eventually, when everyone's agreed and you agree a timetable for release, usually immediately, then out it goes. And I do love I love the moments when announcements are released. I get quite excited about it because I'm an investor at heart, really. And I look at some of these announcements and I think, you know what, maybe today the market will react to it. Maybe it will be in a couple of days, but this is a good piece of news. And I'm really pleased. I'm so pleased with the Molopo announcement today, because we've conducted a major drill hole. Our first major drill hole. It's been conducted safely. It's gone down with 100% core recovery all the way down. We're literally on the cusp of the main target zone, which is, potentially company transformational, depending on what we find. The teams are all excited. Kalahari Key, Power Metal Resources, we're buzzing, really. The investor base out there, we don't know until we get through to the full extent of the hole, but we're nearly there. And it's great. And then boom, price goes down 3%, and you go, oh. So you get frustrated, but it doesn't matter. It's I'm building a major business. This is a massive project. An absolute massive project. We were lucky to get involved with it. Lucky might be the wrong word. Fortunate, better. I don't know. And we did, and we got a strategic position, 51% effective economic interest after this drill program and the earning is done, and it's potentially company transformational. So I kind of have to live with the fact that day to day the market doesn't actually act rationally. I have to live with the fact that we're building significant business. We're valued at 15 million quid. I don't want a 50 million pound business. I want a 150 million pound business, a £500 million business. I've seen some great companies that I've been involved in the financing of, or the restructuring and financing of, over recent years, like Greatland Gold and Eurasian Mining, go to £1 billion valuations. So I don't want to sit at 15. We've got to do some extraordinary things, which is what we're doing, and we've got to get the news out.
So what do you do then, Paul, when you have a day like this, when you've had that kind of anticipation of releasing this bit of news, this sort of excitement, like you say, and it sort of, market sort of flops a little bit. Do you go down and drown your sorrows, or do you pick yourself up and focus on the next thing?
Well, I've got to be honest. Today, after the news went out, I went to Greg's.
Okay.
And I got myself a cappuccino and a bacon roll.
Nice.
And I watched the price with a mild degree of amusement, pull back a bit as a few people sold. And it does make you wonder sometimes, actually, when you see people sell, presuming they're legitimate sales, of course, after the news comes out, when you're saying, look, you're on the cusp of something pretty major. You think people would actually hold the stock for the discovery potential? But maybe it's that some people feel it's better to travel than arrive. And if the share doesn't suddenly lift off on the back of a news release, they get disheartened and they sell a few shares. I don't know. But but really, I don't have that much time to worry about things. I just crack on, and because we have so many active things going in the business, I've got to obviously bed down any piece of news that comes out.
Hmm.
But when I'm straight onto the phone working with our partners in Molopo and our other partners, I'm thinking about lots of other elements of the business, including other areas of development that in due course we'll have to advise the market of and that kind of thing. So, no, I just keep going. I like a steam train because I've got 7% of the business. My family owns 7%. The board as a whole and the connected parties own 14%. We'll make our money not off egregious salaries like many company boards do. We make our money off the share price doing well. So we have to just keep cracking on and have the confidence and faith in our business model, which I think is the best I've ever seen. And I'm biased because I built it. But confidence and faith that our business model can deliver multiple discoveries of major substance to change the lives of ourselves and our investors.
And I think it is important as well that you, as you say, you and your family have the shares in the company as well, because that does align you with the likes of private investors, because you're driven to build the value, because you'll see the reward of that in years to come. So I mean, are we talking here about a real sort of long term story building? You mentioned, people would rather travel than arrive, was it, or something like that?
Yeah.
Are we talking here about, building a sort of a, are we buying into a long story that will develop and develop over time?
I think so, but I don't want it long term in terms of the performance of the business. I want to across the portfolio. There's some things I'm thinking have immediate and the company's transformational potential, and there's other things that will take a little bit of time to work through. And there's potential pipeline stuff, that we could do if we wanted to. I think I would like to be the kind of stock where, for most of people's portfolios, perhaps they're in and they're out of different stocks from time to time. I'd like to be one of those stocks where people feel comfortable holding and leaving in the portfolio and saying, okay, I want to put this into my ISA or into my SIP, because I think potentially there's going to be significant capital gains that I'd like to protect against. And I'm not too worried about day-to-day price movements. I don't look at a good RNS, see the price fall a few percent, and then think, I need to sell, because the company's going places. That's where I want to be. As I've said before, the company management team don't get paid egregious salaries. Their main motivational driver is the share price, because that's where the big financial returns come. And they will come with big corporate developments in the business. And, there's a number of areas that we've talked about from a corporate perspective, including the Australia Gold JV. And there are others, are also the big exploration success stories. And to get the big success stories, you need to do the big programs, which is why we're doing 2,500 meters of drilling. First hole, a deep hole. We're doing it well, and we're doing it pretty much on schedule, and it's going really well, as we've announced today.
Okay, and there's a lot going on in the company, isn't there, to keep you occupied?
Yeah, there's I suppose the Molopo is a very big program for us, but it's one of 9 projects. We've got the Silver Peak project drilling in Canada with bonanza grade silver. We're in the per the market announcement, pre-mobilization for Haneti, which is another major nickel sulfide PGM drill program. And I hope that can start as soon as possible. And of course, we'll update the market on that. We've got the big Australia Gold JV with now over 2,300 square kilometres of licenses under application, and they're moving through the application process, and we're looking forward to getting first grants, we hope, in the near future. And alongside that, we've got multiple other interests. Alamo Gold projects in Arizona. We've got the Cameroon cobalt nickel interests. We've got the Botswana JV with Kavango Resources. That company's just raised £2 million at a really good price on the market, and we've got the JV with them at the Kalahari Copperbelt and Ditto projects. And we're kind of firing up in so many different ways across our business that. As someone said to me recently, can't believe that there won't be something major happen from that portfolio. And I agree with them, with the exception that I think we've got multiple potential winners in there. We just need to do the work and crack on with things. And the other thing is, of course, we've got the working capital to do it. We're in a strong working capital position, as we've announced. So, yeah, we're in a good place. We want to deliver big time for shareholders. There's no other reason to invest in our stock than the capital returns potentially we could provide. I like to make it a fully informed journey by doing lots of updates to shareholders. And I hope that they, on the whole, appreciate that the communication side is an important feature of our business that differentiates us from so many other AIM companies that don't seem to think communications is that significant.
The communication is very important, and I certainly appreciate your time coming on the interview and having a chat, as I'm sure that the private investors do. But I do feel I should maybe end the interview now and let you get back to work.
I can waffle on a bit, in fairness, but let me just say one final closing point because it's important. I've got 7% of this business. I'm the largest shareholder. Fully diluted, I've got 8%. If I make this business work, drive the valuation higher, considerably higher, it means that my life changes, the life of my family changes, and I hope for the shareholders who run with us on this journey, I hope and believe that we can change their lives too, which is what this game is all about. We're not in the 20% a year business. We're in potential for life-changing money. And that comes with hard work, relentless effort, careful creative thinking, and really kind of nose to the grindstone approach, which is what we have in this company.
So don't sell too early then.
I can't really say that.
I can say it. Maybe that's a takeaway message that I've said. Well, that's great. Thank you very much, Paul, for your time.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.